All right, thanks for joining. I'm Cody with the brokerage group at eXp Realty. The first video of the buyer consultation process is going to be found with everything else if you're in my mentorship group or on my team in the shared with me section under buyer consultation. So if you go to your Google Drive, click on this drop down, go to Drive, click on it, it'll bring you to this page, shared with me, or you can type in buyer consultation in the search. And then the first one out of all these documents is going to be the summary of outcomes. This one is just something that we're going to remember by practicing over and over and over. I read it to myself or in my head or out loud while I'm driving and just make sure I hammer it down. So this one's pretty easy. We're just going to read it. What we're doing is we're setting the expectations that they don't need to work with us. We don't need to work with them. Takes the commission breath and desperation, especially for new agents, out of the picture and makes people feel more comfortable knowing that they have a choice and that if they like you and you like them, that you'll work together. So this, I typically used to start it as I walked into the conference room with them. I'd start talking on this first part up top. Now with most buyer consultations being over Zoom or over the phone, I just, after my introduction with them, get rolling into it. So we'll start here. Hey, thank you for taking the time to meet with me today to talk about your home buying goals. As I mentioned, we take a consultative approach, which means we will talk about expectations in advance of starting your search so that you can feel comfortable and confident every step of the way and know the proper strategies that will allow you to win in a competitive market. Some of it may be repetitive as we move forward, but know our process works and it helps us work better together as well. As we get started today, I want to let you know that one of three things could happen as a result of our meeting. The first thing that could happen is that after we're done talking today, you see the value that my team and I provide, and you like me, and of course I like you, and you decide that you want to work with me. That would be great, of course. The second thing that could happen is that maybe I don't provide you with all the value that I was intending to give or that you needed, and you don't see the value my team and I have to provide you, and you decide not to work with me. That wouldn't be so great. But that's totally okay. If you have a question about something, or if I missed something important to you, please just ask me and we can likely cover it and work it out. The third thing that could happen as a result of today's meeting is that maybe I decide I can't both meet and exceed your goals and expectations. This hasn't happened before, but for example, that would be if you're looking for a 5,000 square foot, 5-bed, 5-bath, remodeled house on Main Street with a swimming pool for $200,000. I'm good at what I do, but I'm not a magician. Any questions? Excellent. Let's get started. All right, the next thing we're going to do is go through some questions that help me understand what's most important to you over this next month or longer in which we'll be working together so my activities and communication can be tailored to your personality and your needs. And of course, so that you'll know how to best work with me. Again, a few are a little repetitive, but it'll make sense more later once we're done. Sound good? Great. Perfect. So that's the end of the summary of outcomes script. The next portion of it, as it says here, is going to be just getting started on the buyer 10 plus consultation sheet, which we also call the buyer objective sheet. This is going to be another video, but just as an intro to it, this is the outline, all 1 through 8 up at the top, to help you get through a buyer consultation from start to finish, setting the right expectations that you are a professional. As professionals are prepared, there's nothing wrong with having this out in front of you and going through it to make sure they get a great client experience. So we just went through number 1. Number 2 is going to be question 1, 2, 3, and 4. Then we go down into the property and talk about the location and 3 halves in the house. So I differentiate the haves versus the wants so we can better search and set the right expectations again versus wants and haves, because there will be some sacrifices unless there's an unlimited budget. Then we talk about financing. Usually we've done that in advance. I hope you have. So we just confirm it, go through the last 4 questions. Then we go through the buyer guide if you have one, or the buyer process, and close out with the documents. That's it.